Welcome to the deep dive. It's kind of a paradox, isn't it? We have all this incredible medical technology, scans, targeted drugs, amazing surgeries.
Absolutely cutting edge stuff.
Right. But then you look around and it feels like chronic illness, anxiety, depression. They're just, well, everywhere. More than ever, maybe.
It does feel that way sometimes.
We track everything, steps, sleep, calories, trying so hard to be well. But for so many people, that real deep sense of just feeling good, it's elusive. So what if the problem starts way before we think it does? What if, like Abhi Dugal, the founder of the School of Breath, suggests, what if illness actually begins long before it registers physically?
That's a provocative idea.
It is. And that's really our mission today. Because
Yeah.
let's unpack this. We're going to dive into this concept of the pranic body. The idea is that understanding it could empower you, the listener, to really take charge of your wellness.
Using something incredibly fundamental.
Exactly. Using your own breath. Ancient, accessible, powerful. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, it's a really important question, the one you raised about chronic illness. Modern medicine is, truly brilliant for acute things. A broken bone, a serious infection.
Absolutely life-saving.
Totally. But when it comes to these long-term chronic conditions, things like high blood pressure or diabetes, or even ongoing anxiety, we often end up managing the symptoms.
Keeping things under control, but maybe not getting to the absolute root.
Precisely. And that's where this perspective from Abhi Dagal offers, potentially different lens. The core idea he puts forward is this. All illness, whether physical or mental, begins in the energetic body.
The energetic body. Okay, so what exactly is that? Let's start with prana.
Right, prana. If you've encountered yoga or related philosophies, you've probably heard the term. It's basically understood as the universal life force.
Life force.
Yeah, the vital energy that animates everything. It's not just in us. It's in the air, the sunlight, the food we eat.
Yeah.
It's the very spark of life. But here's the crucial part from this teaching. This prana isn't just some random mist. It flows through us in a very organized, sophisticated way. Through a system called the pranic body, or in Sanskrit, the pranamaya kosha, an energetic blueprint. It's the subtle layer that underlies and informs our physical structure.
An energetic blueprint. I like that. So it has structure, like our physical body.
It does. Just like we have arteries and veins for blood, the pranic body has its own network. It has energy channels. They're called nadis.
Nadi.
And energy centers or hubs known as chakras. You've likely heard of those.
Chakras, yes.
So these nadis and chakras work together to distribute prana, this life force, to every single cell, every organ. It's the body's energetic delivery system.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense conceptually. So if this system is working well, if the prana is flowing strong and clear through these nadis and chakras, what does that feel like for us in real life?
Well, that's the ideal state, isn't it? When that flow is robust, you experience, vibrant health. You feel resilient. You bounce back from stress easily.
Mentally clear, too.
Absolutely. Mental clarity, emotional balance. Your immune system is strong. You just have this underlying sense of vitality. You feel truly alive,
Thriving.
Okay, thriving. We all want that. But the flip side, modern life doesn't always feel conducive to thriving, does it?
No, it often feels like the opposite, the constant barrage.
So what disrupts this pranic flow? What creates the blockages or makes the energy weak?
Well, the list is pretty long, unfortunately, and very familiar. Chronic stress is a big one, even low-grade, constant stress. Then there's diet, highly processed foods that lack, prana, that life force. Environmental toxins we breathe in or absorb.
Right.
And something really crucial, our breathing patterns. Many of us breathe very shallowly, inefficiently, especially when stressed.
We hold our breath without realizing it.
Exactly. And add to that the constant digital stimulation, the screen time. It just overloads the whole system. So all these things, they gum up the works, energetically speaking.
That's a good way to put it. They create blockages, stagnation points, or just general depletion in the pranic body. And according to this view, this is where illness really starts, in that unseen energetic realm, long before a doctor might find something.
So a diagnosis, like type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure or even chronic anxiety, that's not the beginning.
No, that's more like the end result. It's the physical body finally showing the effects of an energetic imbalance that's likely been developing for months, maybe even years.
The physical body is just reflecting what's already happened energetically.
Precisely. The sources use a really helpful analogy. Think of your pranic body like a river system that feeds a city. the city being your physical body.
Okay, a river system.
Now think about those modern stressors, chronic stress and anxiety. They're like dams being built in that river. They block the flow of prana to certain organs, certain areas.
Okay, dams. What about diet and toxins?
That's like pollution pouring into the river. It contaminates the quality of the prana itself.
Makes sense. And being sedentary, not moving enough.
That's like a drought. It just lowers the overall volume of prana available to the whole system. Less energy flowing everywhere.
Wow, okay. That river analogy really clarifies it. So following that, maybe an energy weakness or cloudiness around the pancreas could show up energetically before blood sugar issues become physically measurable.
That's exactly the idea. Or perhaps chaotic, turbulent energy around the heart area preceding diagnosed hypertension.
And this connects to mental health too, which you mentioned. The sources talk about depression not just chemically, but as a profound stagnation of prana. What does that look like energetically?
It suggests that in depression, the energy flow has become incredibly sluggish, almost stuck throughout the entire system.
Like the river has stopped flowing.
Pretty much. And that translates to those feelings we associate with depression. The heavy lethargy, hopelessness, numbness, disconnect. It's like an energetic traffic jam everywhere.
So approaching it energetically means trying to get that river flowing again.
Exactly. Addressing the root stagnation, not just the surface symptoms.
This actually leads perfectly into a story. A really remarkable experience Abhi Dugal shares from his childhood in India. It seems like it was a turning point for him.
Yes, it's clearly a foundational story for his work. And there were these, well, traditional healers, elders, operating completely outside the medical system.
Right.
His grandfather knew one such healer. This man didn't use stethoscopes or ask about symptoms. You just sit with him, and he would.
Right.
Well, Abhi says he would look at you, not physically, but at your aura or your light, your energy field.
Wow. Okay.
So Abhi, being maybe 12 and understandably skeptical, was fascinated. His grandfather took a family friend to see this healer. Now, this friend had just had a full medical checkup. Doctors gave him a clean bill of health. Perfectly healthy.
Okay, so medically fine.
Medically fine.
Yeah.
The friend sits with the healer. After a few minutes of quiet observation, the healer speaks. And he says something like, the energy around your liver is cloudy and weak.
Cloudy and weak.
And the flow to your kidneys is becoming constricted. In the next 3 or 4 months, the healer predicted, the doctors will tell you that you have a liver problem and your blood pressure is rising. But, he added, the problem is already here. You need to start cleansing your body and your energy now.
Whoa. What did the friend do?
Well, naturally, feeling perfectly fine and having just seen his doctor, he barely laughed it off, thought it was nonsense.
I probably would have too, honestly.
Right. But then, fast forward 3 months, the friend goes for a routine follow-up appointment, and his doctor is concerned.
No way.
Yes, his liver enzyme levels were elevated, his blood pressure was consistently high, exactly as the healer, looking only at his energy, had foreseen.
That's incredible. It wasn't a lucky guess. He was reading something real, but invisible to most.
That's how Avi perceived it. He said that experience just completely shattered his purely materialistic view of health.
I bet.
It brought home this powerful realization. Our physical body is the last place for an illness to show up. He says it's like the canvas.
The canvas where the energy body finally paints its picture, whether it's a masterpiece or a mess.
Exactly. The healer couldn't read a blood test, but he could read the energy. Aki uses this phrase, he saw the fire before there was smoke.
Saw the fire before there was smoke. That's potent. That really reframes prevention, doesn't it? It's not just about early detection of physical signs, but about tending to the energy before anything physical happens.
Precisely.
Okay, so if illness starts with disrupted prana, with that energetic fire, how do we become our own healer? How do we sense that fire and maybe put it out before it spreads? How do we regulate this prana?
Well, the answer, beautifully simple, is through the breath.
Our breath, something we do constantly.
Constantly. Prana and breath are fundamentally linked. You could say they're two sides of the same coin. The most direct, immediate way we take in prana is through the air we breathe.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. It's not just that we breathe that matters. It's how we breathe. Deeply, shallowly, quickly, slowly, that makes all the difference.
Right, the quality of the breath.
Exactly. And this leads us straight to pranayama.
Pranayama, the yogic breathing techniques.
Yes, the ancient yogic science. The word itself basically means control or extension of prana, of the life force.
Control of the life force.
So pranayama techniques are essentially the master key to managing your pranic body. By using specific ways of breathing consciously, You learn to direct the flow of prana.
You can steer the energy?
You can. You can clear those blockages in the nadis we talked about.
Yes.
You can balance the different energy currents. You can actually increase your overall store of vital energy, your prana.
Wow.
And it also has a profound effect on the nervous system, calming it down, which directly harmonizes the pranic body. You can even learn to consciously direct healing energy to specific parts of your body.
That sounds incredibly empowering.
It really is. When you practice pranayama regularly, you're doing more than just filling your lungs with air. You're performing active, energetic maintenance. You're becoming your own guardian, learning to sense those subtle imbalances and gently correct them, maybe before they ever get a chance to become a diagnosed illness.
Energetic maintenance, I like that. It makes it feel proactive, not reactive.
That's the whole point, preventative wellness at its deepest level.
And the great thing, as you mentioned, is that you don't need to be some advanced yogi living in a cave to start this. The School of Breath, Abhi Dugal's work, really emphasizes practices that are accessible.
Very accessible. Anyone can start.
So let's talk about a couple of those foundational techniques you can use to start taking charge of your pranic body, maybe today.
Okay, great. The first one is probably familiar to many listeners. It's called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing.
Ah, yes, Nadi Shodhana. I've tried that one.
It's considered like the ultimate balancing practice. Its main job is to purify the energy channels, the nadis, and harmonize the two main energy flows in the body.
The heating and cooling ones.
Exactly. Often linked to the right nostril, which is seen as more active, heating, solar energy,
Yeah.
and the left nostril more passive, cooling, lunar energy. Balancing those brings a sense of equilibrium to the whole system.
Okay, so how do we do it? Can you give us a quick walkthrough?
Sure. First, just sit comfortably. Spine reasonably straight. Let your left hand rest on your left knee.
Okay.
Bring your right hand up towards your face. You'll use your right thumb to gently close your right nostril and your right ring finger to gently close your left nostril. The index and middle fingers can just rest lightly between your eyebrows or fold down.
Got it. Thumb and ring finger.
Right. So start by closing the right nostril with your thumb. Exhale fully and gently through the left nostril.
Okay, exhale, left.
Now inhale slowly, deeply through that same left nostril. Maybe for a count of 4, if that's comfortable.
Inhale, left, count of 4.
At the top of the inhale, close the left nostril with your ring finger. Release your thumb from the right nostril and exhale slowly and smoothly through the right nostril. Try to make the exhale longer, maybe a count of 8.
Exhale right, count of 8.
Then inhale through that right nostril, again for a count of 4.
Inhale right, 4.
Finally, close the right nostril with the thumb again.
Right.
Release the ring finger from the left and exhale slowly through the left nostril for that longer count of 8.
Exhale left, 8. And that's one round.
That's one full round, yeah. And you typically continue that cycle for, say, 5 to 10 rounds, just focusing on keeping the breath smooth and even.
Okay, 5 to 10 rounds. What's the main energetic benefit we're looking for here?
It's like hitting the reset button for your entire energy system. It's incredibly effective for calming anxiety, clearing mental fog, bringing you back to center. It really helps prevent that buildup of energetic chaos that can lead to problems down the line, keeps the energy field clear and steady.
A reset. That sounds useful for pretty much everyone these days. Okay, what's the second practice?
The second one is called Bhramari. It translates as humming bee breath.
Humming bee breath. Intriguing.
It is. And it's a wonderful balm, especially for the mind. It's particularly good for releasing mental tension, agitation. That's kind of stuff that fuels anxiety, insomnia, even contributes to high blood pressure.
How does it work?
It uses vibration. The gentle humming sound you make resonates through your skull and chest, and this vibration has a direct calming effect on the brain and the entire nervous system. It's remarkably soothing.
Okay, I want to try this. How do we do Bhramari?
Also, very simple. Sit comfortably, spine straight again. Gently close your eyes.
Eyes closed.
You can rest your hands on your knees. Or, for a slightly more intense experience of the vibration, you can gently plug your ears with your thumbs or index fingers. Not pushing, just lightly closing them off.
Okay, hands on knees or plugging ears.
Then take a slow, deep breath in through your nose.
Deep breath in.
And as you exhale, keeping your lips gently closed, make a low to medium pitched humming sound, like a bee. Yeah, just like that. Try to feel the vibration spreading through your head, maybe your throat and chest. Keep the hum going for the entire length of your exhale.
The whole exhale is a hum.
Exactly. That completes one round.
Yeah.
And again, you might practice this for 5 or 10 rounds, just letting that soothing sound wash over you.
Okay. And the pranic benefit of the hunting.
From that energetic perspective, Bhramari is fantastic for addressing that prana stagnation we talked about, especially linked to mental heaviness, maybe mild depression. The vibration literally helps to break up dense, stuck energy.
It shakes things loose.
Kind of. It promotes a feeling of lightness,
Yeah.
clarity. It's great for releasing frustration, anxiety, just vibrating that old stagnant energy right out of your system.
Wow. Nadi Shodhana for balance, Bhramari for soothing and clearing stagnation. Two powerful, simple tools.
Absolutely. Very practical starting points.
So, bringing this all together, what's the big takeaway for you listening right now? I think it's this. You're not just a collection of physical parts, like a machine that sometimes breaks down.
No, you're fundamentally a being of energy, a dynamic, flowing system.
And those chronic issues, the illnesses, the persistent anxiety, the low mood, maybe they aren't just bad luck or bad genes. Maybe they're signals, important signals.
Profound signals even. Your body's intelligent way of saying, hey, pay attention. Something is out of balance at a deeper energetic level.
And the empowering part is by understanding this pranic body, by learning these pranayama practices, you can shift your whole relationship with health.
Completely. You move from being a sort of a passive victim of circumstance, just waiting for symptoms to appear,
Right, waiting for the diagnosis.
to becoming an active guardian of your own well-being. You start learning to read your own energy, to sense those subtle shifts before they become big problems.
You learn to cleanse, balance, maybe even heal your own energy system every day with your breath.
That's the potential. True preventative care. Deep self-empowerment.
Essentially, you learn to heal the illness, potentially, before it even gets a name, before the smoke appears, going back to that analogy.
It's exactly tending to the fire, not just reacting to the smoke.
Now, if this conversation has sparked your interest, if you want to dive deeper into these practices and learn more about managing your pranic body,
Which we really hope it has.
yes, we strongly recommend checking out the School of Breath's YouTube playlist. It's specifically called Healing with Prana.
Healing with Prana. You'll find more detailed guidance there, demonstrations of the techniques, more insights from Abhi.
Yeah.
It's a great resource to support you on this journey.
Definitely check that out, Healing with Prana on YouTube. And just as a final thought to leave you with today, consider what it might feel like, what it might change if you started to proactively read your own energy each day, not just reacting to symptoms, but gently, consciously tending to that unseen, energetic garden within you. How might that simple, consistent practice fundamentally shift your relationship with your health, and maybe even your whole life?